Why should you worry about this? Well, there's a short answer, which is if you lose the electrical grid, we're all going to die. So we actually, we've never had a massive EMP event in the 20th century. And so one of the things that we did is we tried to do some analysis of modeling that. And what we did is we looked at disasters where there was a large loss of the grid and then kind of scale from there. So we looked at large scale blackouts, right? Things like hurricanes, we have loss of infrastructure, earthquakes and stuff like that. And so we scaled it for what they predict would be an EMP effect, which is essentially you lose the entire grid for North America. We have any Canadians here? That's unfortunate. Because the Canadians think, we're nice. We're Canadians. Like, nobody's going to mess with us. But the US-Canadian is actually one grid, right? So if somebody takes us out, all the Canadians are going to die. So they need to quit being so high and mighty about this that they think they're safe. By some estimates, and they agree with our modeling, 90% of Americans would die. And the reason for that is simply because we can talk all day long about your car and your cell phone and everything else, but if the US electrical grid, which is essentially the backbone of our entire society, goes away, and for a prolonged period of time, we all die. For a myriad of reasons. A lot of us will starve to death, right, because we don't know how to grow our own food. There's no transportation to move anything. There's literally no medical support, right, other than witch doctors, right? So anybody with any kind of chronic illness or disease is going to die. And then most of us, a lot of others will die from some kind of privation or exposure, either excessive heat or excessive cold. And the problem is when you have 330 million people, and we throw in 10 or 12 Canadians, even if only the United States was affected, the rest of the world would never get here in time in numbers that you would need to save that large population. And if you feel bad, why they pick it, everybody else will be in a bad place too. Half the world's intellectual property is in the United States. Almost all that intellectual property is in electronic form. All of that will vanish overnight. The entire world will lose half its knowledge overnight.